Alright, today we're going to be looking at section 8.8, which is translating English phrases and algebraic expressions. I'm going to first take you through the learn, which is the objective the same as the title of the section, translate English phrases into algebraic expressions. The first thing we see is this table which says keywords to look for when translating phrases, and the top column has some bold words, and then going down each column, these are words that let you know that you're going to be using addition. These words below subtraction let you know you're going to be using subtraction. With same thing with multiplication, division, and exponents or powers. So look at these keywords, commit some of them to memory, write them down, do what you need to do so that you are familiar with them and know what to do when you see them. Here's some examples in Hawks. I always like to do my own, but you can try those out. A video example, and then down here they also give you some examples of what you might see when you're trying to translate an English phrase to an algebraic expression. And what this just means is that you're going to be given a word scenario, word problem, and you need to rewrite it to make an equation. So z plus 3, z added, or 3 added to z, the sum of z and 3. All of these are multiple ways to write this same equation. The same thing when we do multiplication. And notice this one right here, twice the sum of x and 1. Whenever they say twice, that's one of those multiplication words, and then the sum. The sum is what you get as a result of adding something. So that means they want you to add first. That's how they know to put that in parentheses. Otherwise, you might be writing 2 times x plus 1, and that would not be the same. Twice the sum. Sum is the result of adding. So note that. And then you have some examples with difference, quotient, square, cube, etc. They make a note here for you that the phrase z and 3 was translated z plus 3, that's up above, and it says it could have also been written as 3 plus z. There's no problem with that because math or addition has the commutative property, which means you can write it both ways. This is what they're showing you here. However, subtraction and division did not have that same property. So whenever you do division and subtraction, you have to go in the order that they were given. This says 3 less than 5 times the number. 3 less means we are subtracting 3. So you have to be careful when you read these, because you might want to write 3 minus 5 times the number, but that's not what this is saying. This is saying 3 less. And if I gave an illustration, if I had some amount of money and you had 3 less, let's say I had $10, you have 3 less, you would say you had 7, and the reason or how you ended up at 7 is you took 10 and you subtracted 3. So this 3 less needs to be put at the back. Be careful with that. And then 3 less than 5 times the number does not mean this. Okay, if it was commutative, this would be wrong. So that's what they're explaining here. You got to be careful with this scenario. Okay, so you got a video example. This is them also explaining this in that rule. Quotient and difference deserve special mention. The numbers given are to be operated in that order. So that's what I was just mentioning. You can't just put them the way you want to put them. So be careful with those. And then we're going to also go backwards. So we're going to give you an expression, and then you're going to write it in words. Okay, so this is 7 times the quantity n plus 1, and they translate it as 7 times the sum of a number and 1. So you can say n, you can name the variable, or you can just say a number and 1. So a number represents a variable. That's not something that I think they showed, but you want to be mindful of that. A number could be any number, and so we use a variable to represent that. You can use n, you can use x, whatever you want, unless they specify and tell you to use x or use z. Okay. and then example here, and then here's some examples showing you 5 times x, the product of 5 and a number. You could just say 5 times a number. You can write it, there's multiple ways to write these expressions, as you've seen. Okay, just some more notes that you can read, some encouragement, and then some more examples. So we're going to go over to the practice, and we're going to start doing some problems there.